This is the part 1 of 2 videos in which we'll open the first 50 PSA cards. And now there's really exciting cards here. We're talking about the Lob First Edition, Magician's Force First Edition, Invasion of Chaos First Edition, really old school collectible cards. It took a very long time to collect all these cards, and they've been at PSA for a very long time. It went off in March and took many months to get back. So without further ado, let's check out these grades. These have all been pre-opened, ready to go. What I'll do, I'll reverse the stack so we can get them off in the right order. So we can start with Lob 000. Now, I submitted all the cards in order, so now I've got them back into the order they should be. Now, let's start things off with the very first card ever released in Europe. This is Lob E000, First Edition, Tri-Horn Dragon. There's 2 of these in a submission. This was the worst of the 2, which has slightly poor centering. It's slightly thicker on the top and the bottom, the borders. Although it was otherwise a pretty clean card, at least near mint or better. I'd kind of, prediction-wise, I think, I want to go for an 8. Let's have a look. First PSA card, first reveal, and it is a PSA 8. Spot on prediction there. That's very beautiful. First secret rare ever released in Europe. Oh, let's make some stack piles for grades. Our second card is another Tri-Horn Dragon. This was the cleaner of the 2, and I do feel this could be a 10 contender. There's over 30 first edition European Legend of Blue Eyes cards in this submission, and I'm not expecting any, if just a couple of PSA 10s would be amazing. This was the cleaner of the 2 cards. It's got clean, very clean borders. This is essentially a new card, tiny corner ding on the top there. The front of the card was also very clean. Let's see how we do. And it is a PSA 9. PSA 9 mint condition Tri-Horn Dragon. This is where it gets exciting. This card is the one where everyone wants, the Blue Eyes White Dragon First Edition. Now, there's 4 of these in this submission, and I've included a full play set of my near mint condition First Edition Blue Eyes cards. This card I just threw in is a played condition copy as well. There is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. On this card, as you can see, it's well played, but it is still pretty clean and it does look very nice. Here it is slabbed up. But you can see on the back it's got quite heavy edge wear. I just thought it would be nice to get this card slabbed up. And also, I think putting it with my near mint condition Blue Eyes cards, it might improve their grade. That was the hope, at least. Now, let's have a look how we do. A PSA 3. Very nice. I would have been happy with anything higher than a 1, as I do believe this card was, you can see it's quite clean, it's got no creases, no major damages, so PSA 3 is very respectable for a first edition Blue Eyes. Let's put that in a new stack over here. So next up we have the first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon in Near Mint Plus condition. This card, just looking at the centering on this card, it's not that good. This is quite common for these. Same as on the back. It is a pretty clean card. There's no major damages with it. Let's have a look how we do. The card got PSA 6. Oh, that's less than expected. I was expecting a near mint grade on this. Very well. Let's see if we can do better on the next one. So my next European first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm not giving a grade away. Again is centering issues, but you can see it's a very clean card. Let's hope for a PSA 8 on this copy. Let's have a look. And the grade is a PSA 8. It looked very similar to that first Dryhorn Dragon, centering wise and condition wise. Next up is the final first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon. I call these Euro Eyes White Dragon, as these are the European versions rather than the North American. And whilst they're certainly less valuable and less collectible, they are certainly seeing an increase in demand. And for collectors like me, this is what I want, as you know, of course I grew up in Europe and this was our first edition set. I mean, you can buy the American set, but that's like buying a piece of American childhood, right? And on a final copy, let's hope for a higher than an 8. Oh, this was the best condition of the 3, but it had the worst centering. So I'm really hoping for a 9 OC on this card. And let's go ahead and have a look. Oh, it got PSA 8 again. Okay. It does look really cool, even with that center. This is really common to have a miscut on these European first edition cards, especially for Blue Eyes. There we go, we have 2 Euro Eyes at the PSA 8. Now let's go a bit quicker through the next ones. We have the Dark Magician first edition, and this got, I didn't see, oh, this was the light played condition. There's 3 of these in a submission, and this is the light played one. This achieved the PSA 5, excellent grade. It's a respectable card. The next 2 are an even better condition. I tried to have a worse condition going first to, you know, to show the graders, you know, what a lower grade one looks like. Let's cover the grades there. This is the next European Dark Magician, again European first edition, and this got the PSA 6 grade. PSA excellent to mint, PSA 6. I may have been expecting a little bit higher, as this is kind of, it was a very clean card. You can see it's got a little scratch on the front and the surface there. I think that was the most noticeable damage. Okay, and a final copy, which would be the best condition of the 3 first edition Dark Magicians. Again, centering issue. This is going to be a theme throughout these European cards, and anyone who collects them, I'm sure you know about it. Let's check out the grade. Will it be an 8 again, like the Blue Eyes? It is indeed a PSA 8 again. Let's put that over there. Next up, we have the Gaia, the Fierce Knight. There's only 1 of these in the submission. This was quite difficult to get this card. It's pretty near mint. There's no big issues. And this card, will it get a 7 or an 8? Let's have a look. It got the PSA 9. PSA 9 mint. Great, our second 9. Lovely. Our next card is the Celtic Guardian. There you go. There's 2 of these in submission. One of these I do believe is a 10 contender. One of the best 10 contenders out of all the European cards in this sub. And this card you see is well centered as well for a European card. And it got the PSA 9. Mint condition, first edition Celtic Guardian. Very nice. Let's hope the 9 set continues. Okay, all this, I feel this might be the 10 contender in the whole submission of European first edition before we get to some newer cards. As new condition, don't see any issues on it. And this got the PSA 10 gem mint. Fantastic. I was hoping for a gem mint on the European first editions, and there we go. The Celtic Guardian, one of YuGi's most played monsters. Let's make a 10 stack. Next up, straight away I can see a bit of edge damage on this card. Just keeping that grade off screen. This is the Dark Hole. Again, all of these first edition. Let's see what it does with that little bit of edge damage. PSA 9. PSA 9 mint. This would have been a very clean card to submit it, and I think that must have been the only damage on the card. It is otherwise mint condition. Centering is sort of similar to the others. Doing well on the 9 set here. Next up is another Dark Hole, and a similar condition. All these cards were very clean. I only sent off cards which was basically from packs. Let's have a look. PSA 10, wow, that was out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that at all. Got PSA 10 on the Dark Hole. It is a gem mint card. Incredible. 2 PSA 10s. First edition lob. Wow. Next up. Again, these are all clean cards. The YuGiOh destroys all monsters. Your opponent destroys all of your opponent's monsters. Let's have a look. PSA 10 gem mint. 2 gem mints in a row. Wow. Bit lost for words now. Just checking out this card, having a look at the condition. It is pretty clean. That is a gem mint from PSA. I wasn't expecting that at all. Dark Hole and YuGiOh in PSA 10. And the Celtic Guardian. Doing well on the super set. And next up, this is the Trap Hole. There's 2 of these again in the sub. Let's see if we can get a 10 again. And it's got the PSA 7 near mint. Not at all surprised. Some of these have got to get 7s and near mint grades, mint grades. This second chance, Trap Hole. PSA 8. Near mint to mint. The centering's not quite perfect on it, it's common. 8 ball. Still very pleased with these 3 PSA 10s. I wasn't expecting that this early in a submission on these older cards. Our next card is the Polymerization. Tiny bit of edge silvering there, but it's quite minor. Oh, PSA 5. Excellent. Not sure what was wrong with this one. They're all clean, but I can't complain with those 10s. Let's set that down. Next up, this is another polymerization, another chance at a good grade. You see off-centered again is common for these. Grading European cards is not very common. It's not the best idea with the centering on them. If you get them from packs, you know they're going to be poorly centered. It's so common. But hey, I'm a you know, I grew up in Europe, so grading the European cards is important. It was what I want to do. And this got the PSA 8. It's much more respectable than the 5. Put that in 8 pile. Next up, the last card in this box is the Mystical Elf. And it got the PSA 9 mint condition. Again, centering. When I talk about centering, I'm going on about the grey border being thicker on one side than the other. Incredibly common on European cards. This is fantastic. We got the mint 9 mint condition card. Put that in the mint pile. Next we are on the second box. Put those upside down there. So I'll stick these in reverse order again, as I did make the effort to put all my cards in the correct order on a PSA form, so that the barcodes all go nicely together. I notice a lot of people don't do that, and when they open their submission they jump from, yeah, it's 2002 card, 2010 card, and it's all jumbled up, and I thought, well, surely us collectors want to get them all in numerical order, so be careful with that one. Okay, first card from my second box is The Curse of Dragon. First edition. I don't see any condition issues on. Well, maybe it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. And it got the PSA 9 mint condition Curse of Dragon. Put that in a 9 stack. I think there's another Curse of Dragon. I tried to send in as many duplicates as I could to give it best chances. Oh, this card has a major ding on it. I really don't. Oh, this must be one of the Red Eyes cards. I think there was one played Red Eyes in a submission. Yeah, there we go. Red Eyes Black Dragon. First edition Legend of Blue Eyes. This is with played one with a crease on it. I was just getting it slabbed up. It still looks fantastic. It's a great display item. It's got the PSA 2 good. Yeah, happy with that. It's not a PSA 1. And it is, other than the crease and that, it's not, I mean, it's not appalling condition. It doesn't have big bends or anything through it, other than the crease. Still nice to have it slabbed up. Next up must be, I've sent a few of these off. Yeah, this is the next Red Eyes Black Dragon, first edition European, and this was a much cleaner copy. Well, I would say it's at least excellent. Oh, it's got some corner damage. Oh, it's worse than I remembered. What we're hoping on is PSA 5. Oh, PSA 5. I'm getting good at this guessing. Next up, Swords of Revealing Light. These are all classic Yugi card. There's a couple of these in here, and this got the PSA 8. Near mint to mint. Next swords are revealing light. PSA 8 again, 2 identical swords. Let's have a look at those. Both in the same condition. I did grade some swords in my last submission with my guy with Dragon Champ, and they got 7s, so I'm pleased I got some at an 8. Next up we have the Monster Reborn. This was kind of a near mint or better card. The grade was a PSA 8, near mint to mint. PSA 8 par is now the tallest. The next Monster Reborn. This is the European first printed, whereas this is the American European printed. So that says Magic card, this says Spell card, and this card is actually super glossy as well. I should do a video on that. And this card got a PSA 8 again. Excellent. Let's have a look at this card a bit more. Spell card rather than Magic card. And there was one surface scratch on the front. Back was pretty clean. Next up, the right leg of the bin one. Now, it's one of the legs there's 4 of, and there's one of the arms there's only 1 of. That's just how it ended up in the collection. Centering's not the best on this, but it's still a very clean card. Let's have a look. PSA 7 near mint. Okay. It's got to be another right leg. Let's see how we can do on these. Centering's even worse on this one. PSA 8 near mint. That's kind of the highest grade you can get once you have a centering if they don't give it the 90C. If it was Minto, perhaps it would get the 90C. Next right leg. Not mint 9. No OC grade. Still good to have a mint 9. Yeah, this is the leg there's 4 of it. Another mint 9. 2 in a row. Every stack now is, well, apart from the 10, has a leg of Exodia. Okay, left leg. I think there's 3 of these. It's got the mint 9. 3 9s in a row. Good to go. Another left leg. Again, another 9. This is a good theme. I'll be happy if this continues for a while. The last left leg. And it's got a PSA 8. These were all super clean cards. They're basically from packs. I did buy a few collections where the guys had bought them up, opened them all from packs back in the day, and literally they still had all the booster boxes and empty packs and stuff. It was all super mint. Next up, the right arm. This is the one there's only 1 of. I do have a few more now for the next submission. I found it hard to get to start with. And this got a PSA 6. I didn't see any big issues with this card. I did think it was at least near mint, but there we go, PSA 6. And even if the grades are low on some of these, they're still first edition Legend of Blue Eyes holos, and you know, it's still very beautiful to have slabbed up and on display. So next up we have the left arm. We've got a PSA 5. They're not liking these arms, they like the legs. Let's put that over there. The head of Exodia. Exodia for the bin one. I think there's 2 of these. I think they're both pretty clean. And it's got the PSA 9 mint condition. That's really good. Next up we have the second head of Exodia. The last one getting a PSA 9, this one doesn't have better centering, it's got worse centering, so PSA 7. Next up, we finished the lob cards, we're on to Starter Deck YuGiOh First Edition European Dark Magician. This is one of my favourite cards because I got the Starter Deck YuGiOh. There's 3 of these in a submission. They're all near mint or better. So I'm really hoping for one to get a 9, and that would be great for the collection. And this card got the PSA 7, okay. And the second Dark Magician. I know one of them had a little surface scratch. Might have been the last one. The next one is PSA 8. Let's get the next box opened up. I do have another European First Edition Dark Magician grade as well. A Minter one. My next submission. Let's put these in reverse order again so then I can reveal them all in the chronological order of being printed. Again, I just think it's nice to have the cards coming off in the right order, so when they're in your collection or on your display, all the barcodes are in ascending order. It's always nice to have matching barcodes on like your Exodia set and God cards, if you will. Next card, this should be the third Dark Magician. Probably got the worst centering of the 3. And got the PSA 8 again. 1 7 and 2 8s on the Dark Magicians. The next card. This is one of my favourite cards and a very beautiful card. This is the first edition Black Skull Dragon. It's hard to show in this camera, but it's super glossy and it's also super mint. The only issue with this card was it had one corner ding. It was quite a minor, it was from a pack. I see a little edge mark up there. I'm really hoping for a mint on this, because I'm certainly not going to sell it, whatever grade. Well, basically nothing's for sale yet. Some cards might get sold in the future, but I'm grading for collection rather than profit or whatever. So this got the PSA 9, that's exactly what I was hoping for, that's fantastic. When it's for collection, a 9 is much better than the 8. Next up, let's go. So on to about lighting. Next up we have Air Knight Parshav. Classic goat card, but also one of my favourite cards. It's kind of a theme, I will just grade my favourite cards. That's what everyone should do really. And it's got the PSA 7 near mint. I've got one of these in PSA 9, I've got another one to grade. So this probably will be up for sale at some point, but no time soon. This is I didn't give away a grade, didn't I? This is a special one. This is the Secret Rare Dark Magician Girl, not first edition. It is the Unlimited, but these are also very hard to find. Magician's Force never got a reprint of the Unlimited set for Legendary Collection or anything. And this card is mint condition. The guy I bought this from, it was sitting in a stack of all the commons from Magician's Force, just sitting in a booster box. And other than, sitting unsleeved in a booster box, the card is absolutely new. And it was pristine condition. This is a real 10 contender. I didn't see any issues on it, so I'm really expecting, 9 or a 10. And it got the PSA 9 mint condition. A 10 would have been fantastic, but a 9 is still very nice on Dark Magician Girl, I should say. Next up, for Magician's Force, first edition, Amazon S Swordswoman. Really liking this card more now I've been playing Duel Links, because it's so good on Duel Links, especially in the early days. This was a mint card. I'm expecting perhaps a 9, maybe an 8. Got the PSA 9 again. Fantastic. Next up, this was a card which has been sitting in my binder for years, at least 20 years, well, since the set came out. This is a first edition Skilled Dark Magician. This card is really good because it was a 1900 4-star, which back in the day was really good, like Gemini Elves and... Okay. And this was super mint as well. And it got the PSA 10. Yeah. Super mint indeed. Gem mint. Sitting in a binder all those years. I couldn't get rid of it. I had to keep it. Get it slabbed up. That's adding to the gem mint pile. Next up, and this is my favourite card, the Dark Paladin. This is also my favourite artwork. In my last sub, I did grade one of the alternative artwork first editions, the corrected one. It was heavily played condition, but I did have one, but it did get sold unfortunately. But this is Dark Paladin. There's 2 of these in a submission. You've got centering issues. I'm kind of expecting an 8, and it got the 8. Very beautiful. Let's see if the other one can do better. I really like one in a 9 or above, so for my collection. It's got a bit better centering on this one. I always try and put the worst condition card first so the grader can see it, and then, you know, see the better one and see how it's better. Wow, no way! Whoa, I'm totally blown away by this. I was no way expecting a PSA 10. That is incredible. Wow. This is the card of the sub. This is totally amazing. PSA 10, Dark Paladin. Wow. Let's just look at this a little bit longer. Gem Mint, Dark Paladin. This is my favourite card, and I tell you now, it's not going to be sold. I'm very pleased I got the 10, so now I don't have to try and track down more copies and try and get something else in high grade. My favourite card in PSA 10. Next up. This is the alternative art, but this is the unlimited version. This was a mint condition card. I don't normally grade cards like this, but it was mint. I've had quite a few over the years. And it's also got the PSA 10. No way. So on these, this is the first edition and unlimited in PSA 10. Totally unexpected. Incredible. Next up we have, continuing the theme of, you know, awesome boss monsters, we have a Chaos Emperor Dragon. This is I'm really expecting a 10 on this. This is pristine, it's got a nice serial number as well, 40400. This is straight from a pack. It's from one of the Legendary Collection, you know, the reprint packs. And it's got good centering, so I'm just expecting a 10. Oh, it got a 9. Okay, well, I'm certainly not going to complain after those Dark Paladins. Doesn't matter what else I get. Okay, next up we have its first edition. I think it might have had a corner ding, or that might have been a blackluster actually. Let's have a look, and it got the PSA 9, same as the Unlimited. A super iconic card. Beautiful secret rare on that first edition. And next up, this is the Blackluster Soldier first edition. I think this is the one that had a little... It was absolutely mint except this corner. You can see it's probably picked up on a sleeve or something. But other than that, this card was incredibly clean. So I'm kind of expecting hopefully a 9. An 8.5, okay, that's interesting. It's interesting and accurate as well for that corner ding, I think. It's first 8.5, near mint to mint. Put any 8 pile. Next up, this is one of my favourite spell cards for Dimension Fusion. How Kaiba used it against Siegfried and absolutely annihilated him. And in my last sub, I submitted the Dark Revelations 2 Ultra, which I also packed. This was packed as well from Invasion of Chaos First Edition. I only had 8. Back in 2016, I acquired the leftover Invasion of Chaos stock from Argos, and it was over 300 booster packs. But there was only 8 first edition packs in the entire lot. It might have been 10. And I opened them and got this Ultra and the super rare, the other super rare spell card from Invasion of Chaos. So this is mint condition, except it has the centering issue, so I'm kind of expecting a 9. So I want to get it slabbed up. It's not every day you pack fresh Invasion of Chaos First Edition. Yeah, I got the PSA 9, which is the same as what the Dark Revelations copy got for some reason. Pack fresh cards, you can't expect a 10. It's centering and all sorts of other issues you can... Okay, next up we have Celtic Guardian. This is from Lob EN, which is the worldwide edition packs. I'm kind of collecting these now. What I like about them so much is, when I've showed you our European cards, and it's all terribly centered, but the Lob worldwide edition was available worldwide, and in 2004, which is only a couple years after. And what I like is how good quality these cards are. They're totally well centered. If it's from a pack, it can get a 10. It's just super clean, basically upgrades. And this got the PSA 10, which is incredible. And that makes us have 2 PSA 10 Celtic Guardians in this submission, because the first 10 was also the European first edition. So this was the original back in 2002, and then in 2004 we got this one. Incredible. So Celtic Guardian and Dark Paladin sub here, guys. Okay, next up, also from the Lob EN. It'd be great to get a 10 on this as well. I didn't submit it because I thought it would get lower than a 10. It is a 10 contender. And it got the PSA 10 again. There we go. Very nice polymerization. Next up we have the Curse of Dragon, Lob EN. Again, it should be a 10 contender, or I wouldn't have submitted it. And it got PSA 9, that's also a mint grade. I should learn to get better doing the reveals. I'm not sure if that's working out. Let me know in the comments, guys, by the way, if it's terrible, or if you loved it, or some feedback. This is also part 1 of 2, so make sure to check out the part 2. This is the EN Worldwide Edition of Blackluster Soldier in the very beginning. It took a long time to find a mint one of these, and it's one of my favourite prints for EN, and I'm hoping for a 10. Oh, PSA 7. Okay, I didn't see anything wrong with this card, but there we go, PSA 7. This is the EN Dark Magician of Chaos. I love how this kind of has, the whole card has a foil. I graded one of these in my last sub and it got an 8, but this is a cleaner copy. And it got PSA 5. Well, I thought it was a cleaner copy. I didn't see any issues on it. Little mark at the top. Anyway, PSA 5. The last card we opened in this video, the Beast Gold Dragon. We've already opened the first edition one of these. This is the Dark Beginnings 1, its first reprint. I feel the original reprint sets are really underrated because they are very old and they are very cool. And it got the Gem Mint. Gem Mint 10 Beast Gold Dragon. I also graded the European one at a 9 earlier. What a great way to end the first video. I'll do a recap of all the 10s at the end of part 2. But thank you very much for watching. And again, leave some feedback and just let me know what you thought. Thanks very much.